Good morning, it's Ollie here from roastmylandingpage.com, and today I'm going to try something a little bit different, and I'm going to introduce the landing page face-off. So I'm going to take two startups working in a similar space and compare their landing pages, their positioning, their use of call to actions, the design and illustration, just to create some insights and suggest some changes that potentially could lead to better conversion. So something I've not done before, and please forgive me if I'm a bit hesitant, but I think by comparing and contrasting the approaches, we can actually learn more. So I'm starting with Yhangry or Yhangry, which just received a $1.5 million seed investment, and it is a private chef marketplace, so Uber for private chefs. And I will compare it to Nomad Cooks, which is a bootstrapped early stage private chef business that I'm slightly familiar with because the founder was on one of my marketing courses last year. So I just want to draw some parallels here, look at what each one is doing well and what they're doing less well, and suggest some ideas for how they can increase conversion. So this is a competitive space internationally, but I think it's relatively new to London, and businesses in this space have been impacted by COVID, obviously, because bringing strangers into your home during a pandemic is risky. So let's just go through each one, and how I traditionally would do this on a normal roast is I would just describe what I'm seeing and then go back through and give some ideas and suggestions. So I'm going to try that format now and see how it works. So I've just loaded this page: private chef parties at home, catch up with friends and family, from £100 including groceries, currently operating within Greater London, book now. And it also has a pop-up here talking about COVID Tier 5 regulations. There's a picture here, and then a large YouTube video embedded. So choose or create your own menu. We take care of the rest. After deciding on the menu, the groceries are delivered to your house. The chef arrives, cooks the food using your cookware and utensils, and leaves your kitchen clean and tidy. You get to spend quality time with friends at home and have a fantastic meal. And then they use this kind of set meals that you choose from. There's a kind of social proof here, although I'm not quite sure the difference between that and Forbes, which these are publishers or journalists, and that's more like an incubator or something. Anyway, the best conversations happen at your dinner table, blah, 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 and then their Instagram. And then there's explore dishes, which doesn't seem to load anything, and the call to action for their newsletter. And the main call to action on the site is this: book now. They've got a telephone number and email address. So let's go back through and tell you some of the things I like here. So I think who they are, how it works, whether or not it's relevant, it's very clear. So the positioning is quite simplistic. It's private chef parties at your home. I'm not sure I like this stylistic thing, this bubble. It almost looks like a chat conversation. And traditionally, I would recommend some sort of quantification here, like this is how many bookings we've done, or what's actually going to happen when you click book now. I do think that this image does capture like the fun of having a private party, although it doesn't actually show the chef preparing in the kitchen or serving or whatever they may do. So potentially they could tell a slightly stronger story. As well as that, my understanding is these guys are serving people right now, and what that means is they should have some testimonials. In fact, I know they do, because I went to Google them and I saw they have Google reviews. So I would use a really strong testimonial here, and I would focus on the positioning private chefs parties at home. Video, I'm not going to watch that right now, but it's a lifestyle-y type video of people having fun and celebrating and feeling really chilled out. So what's quite interesting about how they do this is they focus on set menus. So you focus more on choosing your menu and booking a menu than you choose on booking a chef. And that's something that I'll compare to Nomad Cooks, who seem to be very much chef focused rather than menu focused. Well, they're a bit of both. I am slightly confused by the flow here. So first there's this kind of section which sort of introduces the idea, but then goes all the way through to the end. And then here is almost like another thing taking you back to like, why have a dinner party? So traditionally, these elements are used to walk you through the step-by-step processes, whether that's from booking through to clean kitchen, or in SaaS, it might be, you know, the cycle through the product. And so the choice of this order is a bit strange. The Instagram pictures look lovely. This call to action is very poor. I don't see a benefit to actually leaving my details here. I'm not sure if I'm getting a discount or an offer, or what I'm actually going to receive. It's very much like, do you want to hear from us, not what the benefit is to me as the visitor. But I do like the use of a phone number and email address. I would also suggest a physical address, which just increases trustworthiness. So dinner parties at your own home, or private chefs at your own home. Just have a quick look here at booking. So with the booking, you do go through here. That's popped up again, which is quite frustrating. You could change that message there based on the page trigger to actually focus on, do you need support building your menu? But anyway, so I set my date and then it just lets me choose the menu. It's using the aggregate price and then breakdown per person. Minimum order amount 100. I'm not quite sure why you need to see that there when nothing here is over 100. Okay, and then you go to book now. That is really annoying. Share, very odd place to have a share button. You know, I really want people to go through the checkout flow. Anyway, I'll stop there and let's go over to Nomad Cook. So I'll walk you through it again and let's see what they're doing differently. So make your event magical. Hire a local private chef for home. Find the perfect chef. Prices from £20 a head. So quite interestingly, they're focusing very much on the benefit, which is the magical event, and then focusing on how you create that, which is through the private chef. They also have the prices from in the header. Let's compare that with Yhangry, who do not. Also, their call to action is about finding the chef. The Yhangry call to action is very much focused on the booking. So very different. They do have social proof here, which is nice. I really do think social proof, if you do have a customer base, is and they like what you do, is worth doing. So what we do, we find the perfect chef for you, in-house dining or delivery drop-off. You need to correct the spelling there. Guaranteed quality. We only accept the top 10% of chefs who apply. Ideal for a special occasion, a stress-free event you deserve. So that is quite interesting. Very much chef-focused language. Lots of food porn, I'd call it, like beautiful pictures of food and the production, and much less on the party side, which is interesting. So they're very much like, this is the chef preparing, but the visuals for the party are less frequent. How we do it: look, we'll send you the menus created by chefs who are free. Book, choose your perfect chef and menu. Hello, cook. The chef arrives, lays the table. Okay. I like the fact that they're using the consistent call to action throughout the page. And this is quite nice because it actually explains one of the benefits of signing up to the new menus is that you're going to get a free pud. So something that Yhangry could definitely look at is how to use discounts or freebies to drive people through that. Why we do it: supporting our chefs and to give back. 1 meal served equals 1 donated. Okay, great. So every meal they serve, they're actually giving something back, which gives this company a kind of purpose type thing. By the way, I do know the founder of this startup, but not in an, this is relatively new to look at the page in this level of detail. So I'm not pretending that this is surprising me, So over 400 meals served to happy customers. That's awesome. And then the step-by-step. I do not like sliders for step-by-steps. I feel like you should just be able to show it on the page. The food photography is amazing. And I do think if you look at how they've executed the step-by-step, tell us about your event. Send chef profiles and menus to choose from. Book and chat to your chef. The missing step is to have the amazing meal. And then the donate. So this is not quite right still, but I still prefer it in terms of the flow to what was done over here. and then they have a Meet the Chefs module. So I think the thing about Nomad Cooks is they're really focusing on chefs as the buy-in, and therefore the landing page really should be the chef page. If you really are buying on the personality of the person, then the chef page is more interesting. I do feel that one weakness this has is this feeling of it being too concierge, which means that I cannot impulsively book. I have to choose the chef, choose their menu. And that is more involved and less easily executed at speed than the approach by Yhangry. Why Yhangry? Do you cater for dietary? Okay, I get it. It's frequently asked questions, and this is great for removing friction. And then another picture of their Instagram, which, by the way, looks amazing, but the chefs is another good focus here. And then a keep in touch, so another offer thing. I don't know if I would have 2 call to actions for the mailer, one focusing on the PUD, and one for this, but this is still much more vivid and interesting as a call to action than on the other site. So the benefits of this site, I think, is it takes you into a much more standardized booking process, something that you're visually familiar with, something that has less friction because the bundles of meals are already made and it's all customized by your date. This feels slightly more concierge, and it feels very much focused on the chef and the relationship that you will have with them. The text on this page, I believe, is stronger at getting across the benefits, but actually the visuals on this page, I think, do capture like the fun of the meal more. So let's have a look. Yeah. So you've got a person reading a book while someone's busy in the background, and I think that's kind of the benefit here is just like that peace of mind that you're going to have an amazing dinner while someone in the background's going to get on with all the hard work for you. Sorry, this is just, I thought that might be talking about their chefs, but that's actually their landing page for chef sign up or their login. So let me just go through the booking flow a little bit here. Prices from £20 a head. By the way, like this video background, it could be a little bit distracting. I would definitely test it without, and I would move that Trustpilot Excellent to underneath there to help remove friction. I think the real problem here is it just feels like maybe a bit too vague. And what I'm going through to is an inquiries page. Okay, so it just doesn't feel as on demand, I think is the phrase I would use, on demand as what's out there at the moment and what the market kind of expects. So 2 very interesting websites, 2 great products, great ideas, something that I could probably see myself booking. The ideas and insights that I've given here are assumptions, they're based on best practice, they're based on tests that I've run with all of my clients, but I would always suggest testing different things. If you aren't testing things, you're not learning. So you want to use a testing methodology of making assumptions. If I do this, I would expect to see this happen, and then actually testing them. That helps you learn more about your users. Other than that, I wish both of these startups the best, and it's great to see the London startup scene doing something really cool like this. So hope that was useful for them. Hope that was useful for anyone watching. Cheers.